How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today we are covering some of the top news in the cryptocurrency and stock market. We're going to take a look at what is happening because, heck, a lot of altcoins are down 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 20%. We want to cover that. Also, talk about why that's happening, why everything is bleeding against Bitcoin. Also, take a look at some of the top news from some of the other top cryptocurrencies as well. And even, I know I've been talking about Luna a lot, but I do want to talk about it just for a split second towards the end of the video because there was a big delay. So if you don't mind hitting the like button and subscribe button, I do appreciate that. That does help out the channel. I make videos every single day, so if you want to catch those and catch some of the top news, hit the subscribe button and turn on that bell notification. There's also a link down there to BlockFi. There, if you're outside the US, you can get an interest rate on your cryptocurrency. If you're inside the US, you can still get up to a $250 Bitcoin bonus, which, heck, that's a lot of Bitcoin right now. So the cryptocurrency market is down today. You can see we're down to $1.2 trillion. And we have Bitcoin that's fallen down a little bit, but a lot of altcoins are starting to bleed against Bitcoin. And I think there are a couple of reasons for it. And I will be talking about some of the top altcoins to buy over the bear market. I'll be posting that video probably tomorrow. But I'm going to go through some of the top projects. Now, to be clear, I'm only adding Bitcoin at this point. But I realize that some people are looking for long-term investment options, or they might think, hey, the market's going to bounce back quickly, or they just are looking to start researching different altcoins for when the market really does bottom. So I will be giving that in a bit, but I think there are a couple of reasons for why Bitcoin's bottoming, and this is at the same time that the stock market is actually doing really, really well. We're up 2.5% on the NASDAQ. This is the third day in a row that we've been up on the stock market. So one, we had Terra Luna collapse. That wiped out $50 billion, and it made people realize that maybe I'm not comfortable even in some of the top cryptocurrencies. Maybe I just want to be in Bitcoin, or maybe I want to take all my money out. There were a lot of people that got burned really badly, and I think that's definitely a consideration. Second of all, there's been no excitement in the market. So who's going out and buying some of these smaller cap cryptos right now? No one, because most of those people are waiting, or those people have just turned to Bitcoin specifically, or like I said, they're getting out of the market. Also, Ethereum has been bleeding a good amount too. It's actually held up really well up until this point, but there were a good amount of liquidations. Just over the last 24 hours, we've had $85 million worth, and I think a lot of this is due to the fact that we fell under that $1,800 mark. A lot of people had longs that were liquidated at $1,800. So there have been a significant amount of liquidations, and this has caused Bitcoin's dominance to go up. Now, why are we decoupled away from the stock market, and why is the stock market going up? Well, the stock market's going up because the Fed's preferred gauge of inflation rose 4.9% in April, and this is coming down a significant amount. So this just came out today, the PCE, and it only rose 0.2% over the last month compared to 0.9% the month before. So this is showing that maybe inflation really did peak and we're coming down. The Fed might turn and actually become a little bit more dovish instead of hawkish, and this higher rate environment might not be as bad as we think it's going to get, or it might not, the rates aren't going to get as high as we think they're going to get. So that has caused the stock market to turn around. Now, I think there is something to be said for the fact that this is the second day in a row, or third day in a row, that Bitcoin really hasn't risen with the market, and typically we see a very tight correlation. Now, one reason for that might be because Bitcoin has actually held up pretty well itself. If you look at Bitcoin compared to some of the top tech stocks, it's actually not fallen down as much compared to, let's say, Netflix and Roku and some of those types of companies. Now, some have held up relatively well, but even some of the top companies have fallen down 40, 50%. So Bitcoin has been pretty much staying sideways when a lot of the other stocks have fallen down a lot over the last couple weeks. So maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's just that we're still waiting to get more confirmation that the market's really going to turn around, or maybe it's some kind of manipulation, or people just shedding positions, or maybe it's the Luna Terra FUD and that whole fallout that just caused some people to be a little bit more cautious in the crypto market. Now, with that being said, there is some good news coming from some of the altcoins. Polygon just launched an uncapped fund to help Terra projects migrate to its blockchain. Now, This is pretty interesting. We've already seen BNB do this as well. This is going to be financed with 450 million Polygon, $450 million that they had previously raised, its treasury, and a $100 million ecosystem fund. So at least 550 million plus its treasury. And they've already had 50 to 60 projects start to come over and start to migrate. We already know that a lot of people look to Terra because they thought that they had a great ecosystem with great developers, and now a lot of them are trying to take some of their developers. And to be fair, that makes sense because Luna 2.0 is coming out and a lot of people don't believe in it. This is actually delayed a day as well. Their mainnet was supposed to come out today. We were supposed to get token drops, and we are not now. It's pushed back a day. We'll see how long this lasts if it keeps on happening, but this is not a good thing. Then Solana has some good news too. They eclipsed Ethereum in 24-hour NFT trading, launched a Trippin Ape Tribe NFT. So Solana still is one of the top cryptocurrencies in my mind and will be here for a while. They obviously have had some popularity on the NFT front. You can see they're falling down a lot in price though. Over the last 24 hours, down about 9%. Now, personally, I have been talking a lot on the channel about how I've been buying a lot of stocks. I still talk about cryptocurrency for the most part, but I, over the last 4 months, have added a lot to my stock portfolio because I feel like market will rebound and some of these stocks are just so attractively priced that it makes sense to add a significant amount to them. So I've been adding a lot more to my stock portfolio than my crypto portfolio this year, but I continue to DCA into both. And that's what I'm doing as well in crypto. I'm going to continuously buy Bitcoin. Now, if I see a turn from the Fed where I think either inflation has peaked and they say, hey, we're not going to raise rates as aggressively, or I start to see such low prices on some of these altcoins, that's when I'll start adding more to my altcoin position as opposed to just adding Bitcoin. But at this point, so many people are fearful of cryptocurrency and so many people are just calling it a bear market now and wondering how low we'll go. I'm really just focused on adding Bitcoin at this point, and at these prices it's really attractive. Like, I still think Bitcoin's going to hit $1 million in the next 10 years, and that's a 40x 30x from here. So that's a really significant amount of increase, and a lot of these altcoins won't make it. I mean, a lot of the ones in the top 10 will make it, they just might not be in the top 10. But when you start going further down the line, there's no way of knowing if these are going to be around. But that's just my opinion. I want to hear yours underneath the video. Have you been adding to your cryptocurrency position? Have you been adding to your stock position? Let me know in the comment section. Of course, this might just be a little bit of a bump and then we could fall right back down. There's no way of knowing, but that's why I continue to dollar cost average. Let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. Thank you so much. Check out BlockFi, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.